Suicide is not part of its name on purpose, but that is what Friends for Survival is built around, surviving the most unimaginable kind of loss of someone you love. Sacramento's Marilyn Koenig was blindsided by such a loss 45 years ago, and after finding her own way through it, has dedicated her life to helping other people see hope still exists. That's what's made her one of the top 4 nominees in our Remarkable Women contest. Meet Marilyn Koenig.
Victim number such and such jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. That is all I ever knew about suicide. I just thought it was a homeless alcoholic with no family that was killing themselves. I mean, that's my vision of somebody that was hopeless or desperate enough to kill themselves. Who else would do that? I mean, I had no understanding of it at all.
Marilyn Koenig's understanding of the who else could choose suicide came home to her drastically and devastatingly April 4th of 1977. That's when her second oldest child of 7, Stephen, a Christian Brothers Falcon 2 months away from graduation, a well-liked golf and bowling team member, left what would be his last shift at Baskin-Robbins. He drove out to a then deserted part of Sacramento's Fruit Ridge Road and sat on the road beside his car with a pistol.
He wanted to give the car to a girl he'd had one date with who needed a car. He got outside the car so that he wouldn't mess up his car. So he was terribly considerate.
Wow, and shot himself.
But he wasn't dead. He was still alive. So they took him to UCD, and then he died the next morning about 10:30. But it was like he was already dead.
After that, the trance-like state her son lingered in for a few hours became Koenig's entire existence.
We're just so frozen.
Families, however large, you had 7 kids, so 9 people in the family. You know, you have a rhythm, people kind of have their roles in the family. And even though you got this letter, this must have been like a bomb going off in the middle of what was normal.
Well, it was so shocking because we had no idea that he was struggling with anything. It totally disrupts your whole world. It really does. It does it physically, mentally, spiritually. It's like a bombshell. It's like there was a volcano eruption in your life and the whole thing blew up in your face. And if you lose a child, it's like, I should have been able to know that. I should have been able to stop it. I should have been able to prevent it because I'm a parent of this child and I'm responsible for them.
After 3 years in a post-Stephen abyss,
I just cried. I would be crying every time I was by myself.
And a few more years of what Koenig describes as her brain re-engaging with life. She was looking for people to sign letters to support a legislative effort she'd mounted to get some kind of suicide prevention program into high schools. That's what led her to One Support Group.
I thought, well, some of these people will write letters. That's why I went there. I didn't go there for help.
By teaming up with another mother there, one whose teenage son had taken his own life, they found a way to help others. One that's been going strong for 39 years.
Well, our newsletter now is going to over 6,000 people. That, you know, or households, I should say.
This is Friends for Survival, in name and in practice. Everyone who comes to it shares a terrible loss and eventually a deep appreciation for Koenig.
I know this, that had Marilyn not been there, that road which, you know, everyone who loses someone by suicide goes down, that road would have been so infinitely tougher.
John Meltzer is a Friends for Survival facilitator, but 12 years ago, he was a dad whose 39-year-old son Robert shot himself with a brand new gun from Walmart while he was struggling with bleeding ulcers, a chaotic shift schedule, and the sudden death of his fiancée.
What I know about Robert is that he did the best he could for as long as he could.
My husband died. I had a 3.5-year-old. I had an infant. And Travis's older daughter, who lived with us about half time, I no longer had any rights to have her at my house. Now, we've stayed really close there, and that's been a blessing, but, you know, lots of parts of our family blew up that day.
Kelly Holmstrom's fun, athletic Travis died by suicide while away on a work trip in May of 2012.
It's been almost 10 years, and working with Marilyn has really given me hope and given me that understanding of how things can get a lot better, even in the face of really complex grief and some crazy tragedy.
My name is Tina Graybill, And this is my brother Jonathan Charles Graybill. He's 3 years younger than me, born in 1951. And he died when he was 63 years old. That was after a whole 20 years in the Navy. He became a commander before he retired.
Tina Graybill believes the pressures of a crumbled marriage and providing for children he couldn't see as often as he wished pushed him to find a final answer for the pain. She recognizes the irony in the loss that has helped so many gain so much peace.
Marilyn is such a good leader. It's terrible that she had to lose her son for all this good to happen, but we're so glad to have her.
If you or someone you know is struggling with a death by suicide, you can find the help Marilyn Koenig offers through Friends for Survival by dialing 916-392-0664. That's at the bottom of your screen. This is a warm line to find help after someone you know has taken their own life. For immediate help if you are considering suicide, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. And join us next Tuesday as I introduce you to another one of our remarkable women nominees.